Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? It turns out that there's an NBA player who's really, really good, who just basically told the public that he has he had at one point 50 bank accounts. So, why would an NBA star have 50 bank accounts? I'm going to tell you why. So, get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under the B1 condition. B1 means we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means that we educate our kids. Black first means that we make sure that our families are financially intelligent. If you agree with this philosophy, put a B1 in the chat. B1 stands for Black first. All right. So anyway, how many of you heard this story? Giannis, I want to say his name's Antetokounmpo. It's got a long Greek name. They call him the Greek Freak. He's a great basketball player. Well, apparently Giannis just did an interview recently where he's working with an investment advisory fund to create an ETF. And during the interviews, he said that at one point he had 50 bank accounts, 50 different bank accounts. And that was kind of crazy, right? That someone would actually have 50 bank accounts. But Giannis's answer actually made sense. It actually relates to something we've talked about on this platform. So Giannis's logic for having 50 bank accounts was he said, I asked him, is my money safe? So the first thing we was thinking about was security. Is my money safe? And they said, well, there's FDIC insurance. He said, well, how much does that cover? Well, they said it covers $250,000. So what Giannis did was he spread his money out to now he says it wasn't totally 50, but the other guy that works with him said it was 50. Either way, it was maybe at least 40 to 50 bank accounts where he put his money in different places to make sure that he had at least 250,000 protected in all those banks. So what does that mean? That means that over 10 banks, that's 2.5 million protected. Over 40 banks, that is $10 million protected by FDIC insurance instead of 250,000. Well, you might think that's a little bit weird, but that makes Giannis smarter than almost every single entrepreneur that was putting their money in Silicon Valley Bank. That makes Giannis smarter than all these tech startup founders who were putting 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, all their payroll money in Silicon Valley Bank. And you know that Silicon Valley Bank went down. How many of you followed Silicon Valley Bank going down? And what was fascinating about that bank run was that nobody really thought that that you could run on a bank that fast. They never had a bank run done on Twitter before. So this is really reshaping the economic models in terms of what bank runs even look like. Bank runs used to look like a bunch of people lining up outside the bank trying to go inside to get their money out. Now bank run just looks like a bunch of people hopping on social media and somebody with a big following saying, hey, I'm taking my money out. And then suddenly everyone else loses confidence in the bank. Actually, with FTX, to some extent, some would argue that even the collapse of FTX was a bit of a bank run. Binance, CZ, who is the CEO of Binance, I can't say his last name, but it's Chinese, it's a long Chinese name. They call him CZ. CZ basically initiated a bank run on FTX. He got online and said, we're selling all of our FTX shares because we've lost confidence. Well, unfortunately, there is something called financial contagion. This is something that my dissertation chair, Andrew Caroli, is one of the world's leading experts in. He's at Cornell University. If you want to go look him up, he's a real nice Canadian guy. And basically, financial fear is very contagious. It's more contagious than COVID. So effectively, that fear, when one major Twitter influencer, remember the term financial influencer means that this person has the ability to influence others. So when one large financial influencer, like say Peter Thiel, the billionaire, gets on Twitter and says, "Oh my God, I'm getting out of here. I'm selling all my assets." Well, that can create a bank run, which undermines confidence in that particular asset, which might be a bank, it might be a cryptocurrency, it might be whatever. So that's one of the things you have to be really careful about, is that a lot of assets are very, very fragile. A lot of economic assets that exist within our economic system are built upon, or they're only worth as much as the public's confidence in those things. One way to protect yourself is to be smart like Giannis. I like Giannis a lot because Giannis came from nothing. Giannis came from the struggle. Giannis and his family went through a lot. And now he and all his brothers are all milking the NBA for tons of money. And God bless them. God bless them for utilizing their $1 billion asset, which is their amazing athletic ability, because several of his siblings are going to be billionaires. And a lot of it's because they make good, smart financial decisions. A good contrast to that would be John Morant. John Morant is playing for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's doing everything in his power to throw away his money because he's somehow committed to this ignorant culture where you somehow want to go out and blow all your opportunities. So when I talk to you guys about economics, one of the things that I mentioned extensively in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, which is available on Amazon if you want to get a copy. It's a best-selling book. Everybody loves it, so feel free to go take a look. In this book, I explain to you that a lot of your wealth and your economics is culture. It ain't just about knowledge and know-how. Well, I don't have any money because I wasn't born with any money. I don't have any money because I don't know how to. We never learned anything about money. This is what the rich people know, and they don't want you to know it. Well, that just ain't true all the time. I mean, you have access to the internet. You have access to Chat GPT. You got access to all kinds of tools that can give you any knowledge that you want. It's the culture that shapes what kind of knowledge you value. It's the culture that shapes whether you spend your time pursuing knowledge or spend your time pursuing ignorance. It's the culture that shapes whether you apply the knowledge or just ignore it. So Giannis comes from a family that has a wealth building culture, which means that they're not going to be poor. Poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. So he's not passing over his opportunity. He's 7'1" with long arm, with a wingspan of an eagle, with the talent of 10,000 kings, and he's out here going out dominating the NBA, and he's not acting like a poor man. He's not passing over opportunities repeatedly by getting involved in bad culture. He's out here handling his business. So ultimately, just understand, wealth is culture. Wealth is culture. Wealth is culture. WIC, W-I-C. That's WIC. That's our term for today. Type it in the chat if you hear what I'm saying. Wealth is culture. What is your culture? So when they make music and videos and TV shows, they say this is for the culture. This is about the culture. Our podcast is about the culture. My question is, well, before I listen to your podcast, I need to know, whose culture are you talking about? What culture are you talking about? Are you talking about the culture of the winners or the culture of the losers? I don't want the loser culture. I've seen that too much. I don't want to be a loser no more. Are you talking about the culture of the wealth builders, or are you talking about the culture of the wealth destroyers? I don't want to be in the wealth destroying culture. I've seen that. I grew up around that. I want to get away from that. Are you talking about the culture of the people that end up on top, or the ones that end up on the bottom? Well, I started from the bottom. Now I'm here. I started from the bottom. Now I'm here. That means that I'm not looking at the culture at the bottom. I don't want to be on the losing team anymore. I want to win. So when people say the culture, I need y'all to be financially woke. I need you to be financially conscious, financially intentional, and understand that there is a difference between a wealth building culture and a wealth depleting culture. An intelligent culture versus an ignorant culture. That's why I tell you guys that this platform is for intelligent Black people. It means that you have to value intelligence in order for you to appreciate anything that happens in this space. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just go sit with the ignorant people, because there's plenty of them out there. There's millions of other ignorant people that want to stay broke, that want to stay struggling, that want to throw away their opportunities, and then sit around and complain that it's all because they're Black and because the Republican did it. So we better vote for the Democrat. The Democrat voting for the Democrat to go fix everything. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not how the world works, people. So Giannis, I like this guy. I don't know him, but I applaud him. I think it's very smart. I like the common sense. He's working with financial advisors. He's hanging out with people that know how to make money. This brother is gonna be a billionaire. Mark my words. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't even pronounce your damn name. I'm gonna just call you Giannis the Genius. Giannis the Genius. That's what you are. Double G. Giannis the Genius is going to be a billionaire by the time he's done. And watch what happens. Him and his big 7 foot, 6'10" brothers are all going to form multi-billion-dollar companies. And within 1 or 2 generations, his family is going to control a big chunk of the earth. They're going to have more than their 40 acres and a mule, because they're economically smart and they have the right culture. So never forget, wealth is culture. So anyway, speaking of good culture, I want to give a thank you to the Black-owned business that sponsored this podcast, Aisha Verzi. That is her Instagram. Follow her on Instagram if you want advice on things like retirement and wealth planning, things like that. Aisha, I met her at one of our events. I liked her a lot. She's super smart, and she also wants to be one of the people that sponsors this podcast. So I told her I'd be more than happy to share her company's name with you guys. And if you'd like to sponsor any of the episodes, just go to drboycefinance.com, and we would love to promote your Black-owned business. And last but not least, my website is boycewatkins.com. That's where you can go, and you can get a free list of AI stocks that I really like. You can also get access to a training I put together called How to Make Money Without Working. That's what rich people do. So feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. There's plenty of resources out there, and I want to encourage you to have the right culture. So be smart, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for listening, and way to go, Giannis. I'm super proud of you, brother. I can't wait to see you rise up. I think you're going to do. I think your best years of as an athlete are going to be after you finish playing the game of basketball and you start playing the game of life, because I can tell this brother is a winner. So God bless you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Peace.